Welcome to the Rochester Real Estate Show. My name is Shane Allen, and I am joined today by Brooke Stewart. Hello, Brooke.
Hello.
Brooke is here because we are going to be talking about two things that she is an expert on. We're going to be talking about being a baller parent on a budget and also open houses.
Yes.
Brooke is our open house expert here, so we want to pick her brain because I know a lot of buyers are out there getting out to open houses. We want to talk about like what to look for, and we also want to talk to sellers about what they should be doing
Doing.
to
Get ready.
get ready. Exactly. Thank you. Let's start off with some parenting stuff though first. Brooke,
Yes.
you are a mother.
Yes, I am. I'm an experienced mother too. Like I like to make everything an awesome experience.
Okay.
But I am a parent on a budget. So we're going to talk about that.
What ages are your children?
Oh, they just had birthdays. They turned 8 and 4.
8 and 4. Okay. And I am a father. I've got two children
Yep.
under 3 years old. Under four.
Yes.
I guess we'll say
Under
under four at
4.
this point.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
So that adds to our credibility, right? I'm just not on here, just some single dude, just talking about kid stuff.
We are
Great.
experts.
Okay. I know what I'm talking about, and I am poor. So it's really about being a baller on a budget. So here we go. First question for you, Brooke.
Yes.
What's the best free thing to do with your kids in Rochester that no one is talking about?
Okay, again, going back to the experience, best free thing to do. And I will even do these things in the wintertime when it's crappy, as long as there's not 3 feet of snow on the ground. I will go out to Webster Park. All right, there's a pier out there, there's rocks for the kids to climb all over, there's big hills for them to roll down. There is a river that meets the lake, so they get to see that whole thing. There's fish and there's ducks and there's geese. You can walk through the creek, you can go fishing, lots of park space. And then if you've ever been to a Jack's Place playground, they're the best.
Mhm.
Dinosaur themed playgrounds. Okay. And the other cool thing is my little boy is car and construction vehicle obsessed.
Okay.
They always have a dig spot. So they have toy construction vehicles, excavators, dump trucks, all that kind of stuff. And it's right there. They're going to get dirty there. But that's what I pack a lunch, do whatever. But honestly, we're not a camping family. But if we were, I would set up a camper at Webster Park one weekend. I love it.
Solid. I mean, you cannot really undervalue just how much kids love throwing rocks.
It's true. And
Just
there's big rocks to throw. Big
hours.
ones.
How you could I'll spend a whole day talking rocks. You throw the stick out there, it's floating. They got a target. They're throwing the rocks there.
They can swim too when it's warm enough. They
When
can
it's warm
swim.
enough. So there's like 4 days a year they can swim. It's
Yeah,
great.
great.
But yeah, that Webster Park area is great. There's playgrounds up right over there. I know what you're talking about. And the great trails over there. You can walk
Yeah.
past the White House that you could
Oh,
rent over
yeah.
there. There's also a new rental space there at the top of the hill. I've done a few weddings there. Not to brag, wedding DJ, whatever. Um, but yeah, and Jack's Place. I was just quickly Google searching because there is the one in Penfield. I live.
Jack's Place in Penfield.
It's
Yeah,
fantastic.
great park. We
Got the
go there too.
got the
And I live on
bones.
the west side, but I don't care. We drive anywhere.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that one's definitely worth it. Yeah, got a great sandbox. Lots of toys that have just been abandoned. So
Abandoned.
like if you have a bunch of clutter in your home,
Just
apparently
drop
we're
it
just
off.
like just drop it off into a park. And that's that seems like a liability nightmare. I guess I don't know, but I guess we can't track where it's coming from. So, all right, next question, Brooke. We kind of talked on the park stuff, and maybe there's a different one for this one.
Okay.
Is there a park in Rochester that makes you feel, let me start again. Is there a park in Rochester that makes you feel like you're on
I
vacation?
thought we just answered that one. That was
Okay.
my Webster Park one.
You
I'm
know what? We're gonna
sorry.
skip that one altogether
You
because yeah,
said
no,
free.
you nailed it.
Okay, sorry. If I wanted to go on vacation, and stay in Rochester, I would definitely park a camper or something at Webster Park.
Sure.
That's my answer. Sorry.
I guess, was there any other parks you want to give a shout out to?
Oh yeah, but we're gonna address them in
Okay.
other questions that
We're
we're talking about.
we're sliding on then.
Yeah, lots of things to share.
Brooke, why as a parent should you never overlook your local library?
We use our library all the time. Okay, homeschool parents, there are homeschool groups. I know the Gates Library does it. If you're registered at one, you can use all of them. There are game nights, there are Minecraft nights, Nintendo Switch nights, there's movie nights. I mean, craft nights. I have a crafty kid, so craft nights, adults, young kids, whatever. Also, Shane, I found this out just like a couple of years ago.
Mhm.
Do you know that there's something called a VIP pass at the
No,
library?
please.
You can legit check out tickets for our local museums here in Rochester.
Okay.
Um, and different there's each library has different things, but if you go online, you can see all of them and you can see where they're at and you can go and check them out. But then you can get in places free on a discount, whatever. So, yes. Oh, New York State Pass if you like state parks. They have one so that you can get in free.
Hmm.
So yeah, those are kind of cool.
Phenomenal. Yeah, I don't know if people know this, but libraries are not the libraries that we grew up with. When we were kids, there was nothing. It was musty books and angry librarians. They are they are so fun now. It is
They
wild.
are.
I've talked to Brooke about this before, and
Shout out to Miss Joy in Greece. Love her.
if you know me, you know that I don't like Greece, New York, and I hate giving them any credit for anything.
I live there.
But the Greece Library is the best library, I think, in North America. It is wild what they have done there. They have
It's
devoted,
true.
it feels like more than half of the library is devoted to the
Children.
children's section. Great selection of not only books and everything like that that the kids are into. They've got the electronic pieces if you're into the iPad stuff, but the play place there is absolutely bonkers. It is they've got like food trucks and like a fake grocery store. There's grills and ice cream, fake ice
The
cream stuff.
tree and the balls.
There is a there's I can't I don't
Tree of life.
is it called the Tree of
I
Life?
don't know, it's not, but that's what I call
I
it.
can't. Well, I need to come up with something other than the ball sucker. That's what it is. What happens is these children collect these plastic balls on the first floor of this thing and they stick it into these vacuumized tubes that then fire them up to the second level. And there's kids on the second rung that are dropping the balls into like a conveyor belt type of situation back down to the kids. It's this circle of life and balls. And it is fantastic to see
Pretty
some,
great.
teamwork. There are going to be some kids that are throwing balls from the top and you have to, give the eye to their parents and see like who's going to say something. But that's for you guys to deal with. And then, but yeah, that one's phenomenal. And then also, yeah, shout out for this is a side note for parents. Your library card gives you so much access to online stuff for
Oh,
like
yeah.
your ebooks
Yep.
and music and everything like that as
I
well.
don't pay for ebooks. I
And
get them free through
absolutely,
my library.
the library app, I think it's Libby is what they use, but also another life hack. As New Yorkers, we can also get the New York City library card.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yes, you can sign up for
Interesting.
that guy, and that gives you access to even more
Huh.
online
I
stuff,
have to
which
look
I
at that.
do. So shout out to that. If your kids are into the ebooks, it's the way to do it. We got something called like a story pod that we do. It's just like
Yeah.
this little speaker has got these little animals you
Oh,
put
yeah, and
onto
you
it.
put it on. Yeah.
So I'm thinking that I can just guide my kids into being ebook children and just throw those on in the car.
A side note, I was talking to my chiropractor
Yeah.
and she was talking about the Arthur podcast, like the Arthur from like when we were
Oh,
kids.
they got a pod.
But she said it's much cooler than the
The show.
show, and
Okay.
it's a really good her 3-year-old loves it.
Gonna have to check that out.
Yeah,
All
so
right.
there you go.
Okay. What are the three family spots in Rochester under $10 that are totally worth it?
Okay, again, told you I'm an experienced person, so we got to put a couple of things in there to make it worth it. But I love going to the Lamberton Conservatory.
Okay.
You can truly get a family pass, I think, for under $15 or
Hmm.
under $20 for the whole year. Um,
Oh, for the year.
yeah, for the year. It's super cheap. Okay. If you're like, I mean, if you have little kids, you're gonna walk through in 5 minutes. So we usually like go around twice, see the turtles, see the quail. It's like a rainforest if you've never been there in the middle of winter, really any time of year. So dress in layers because you're gonna get warm. There's a playground right across from there, that we will go and play at.
Hmm.
And then you can either walk or drive. We walk through Highland Park, and then where they have the Lilac Fest at, there's
Yeah.
this huge natural playground there. So we normally do like the playground, warm up in the conservatory, and then head over and do lunch or whatever and do the Highland Park playground. So that's my cheap day.
That is a good one. Yeah, and I think this was tying into the VIP pass you're talking through the library. So I think you can get strong museum passes on the cheap for that.
Yeah, they're not free, but they're discounted. And
Zoo?
the zoo and our science museum.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
I know that the Buffalo Zoo I just saw they do some free days. I want to say the Seneca Park Zoo might do something similar, but I can't remember off the top
They do free February for kids under 12, I think.
of my head.
I have a zoo pass. My kids are really into animals. Oh, I have another one for you.
Oh,
But you can use your zoo pass in the Buffalo Zoo and you get half off.
oh,
And so we do that and it's fun. The other one that I was gonna say that's under $10 for families, is we'll go drive out to Minden Parks. They have the Wild Wings
okay.
thing there. So there's birds, and then there's another building next door where they have animals. We really like animals. Um, Hedgehogs, porcupines, lots of lizards, snakes, frogs, those kinds of things. Um, there's a natural park, there's little fairy gardens, there's trails.
Hmm.
There's a really cool, it's under $10 because they do ask for donations, but it's not required. And there's couple of playgrounds in Minden, but if you go into the village of Minden, they have this giant wooden playground, which is awesome.
Okay.
It is probably like a 5 to 8 minute drive. Not a big deal. You do have to drive there though. So those are like our day trip, cheap, pick up McDonald's, Burger King, and there you go.
I mean, this is great. You should have your own blog just strictly for this. They So I'll give a couple of shout outs. Abraham Lincoln Park over in the it's either Webster or Penfield. It's in that weird middle ground where it's like, is it
You
Webster
don't
or
know what it
Penfield?
is.
We don't
Yeah.
know. Each town claims it, but it's got a little tiny playground. I'd say not the best one, if I'm going to be honest, but there is trails you can go down if your kids are into the hiking thing. It's a good hike to do, especially because if you can go far enough, you can see into the Irondequoit Bay from the top. It's a pretty cool view. Also, I won't say where, but there is an eagle's nest. I don't think you're supposed to say where eagles' nests are. I think that that's
I
like a
mean, they
federal
are
offense.
pretty protected, but we'll have to talk off camera
Yeah,
because
I'll tell you.
do you know Shadow and Jackie?
No.
Oh, the YouTube channel thing. They're
Okay.
all watching them at school. They have two baby chicks right now. They're famous. They're out in California,
Got it. Well, we should
you
stick
know.
a camera up there, I guess. We need some famous
Yeah.
eagles here in
So there we
Rochester.
go.
There's a fish hatchery in
Oh,
Pittsford.
yeah,
You can
like that
go
one.
look at fish. Um, Also, I haven't done this one yet, but I'll just give a shout out to my dad. He used to just drive us to the airport and we just watched planes take off.
Oh yeah, there's like a side road.
Yeah.
The other one I was going to mention, if you want a cheap place just to take cool pictures of your kid, I can't tell you where it is. You can ask me offline because I literally can only tell you go to this tree and turn right. But the sunken castle in Highland Park,
Oh, yeah.
I just found it a year ago.
You found it.
For the first, well, yeah, like I didn't know that it was there.
Okay.
And I was walking and there it was. I
Yeah.
found it.
There are lots of hidden stuff like this. There's
Yeah,
like these
it's great.
secret paths. There's like fairy trails in Rochester that you got to discover. There's like a secret sidewalk over in Charlotte, I think.
Oh yeah, my husband went there as a child. He can't remember where it is though.
It's very
He
secret. Maybe he
does
just
try to find it. We
I've
haven't
tried
done
to
it.
ask people like where is it, and they're like I
I don't
can't.
know.
And so I was like, did you guys all just imagine this?
Oh, sorry. One more.
Please.
Okay. Durand Eastman Park. Okay. So we'll go to the beach at Durand.
Hmm.
I actually like it better than Charlotte. Sorry. Um, so we'll go. I have a little hangout spot at Durand Beach that I like. We'll go and walk through there, super pretty. And across the street is Camp Eastman.
Okay. Yep.
Drive there because if unless you're hikers. But Durand Eastman, they have a great accessible playground. It's huge and they just put in a brand new splash park. So,
Oh dang! Yeah, we didn't even mention splash parks.
oh, Sweden Splash Park is my favorite.
Yeah. Some of them, just to warn you, if you're new to the splash park game, there are a lot that are free. I'd say most of them are free. There are some towns where you got to pay to get in.
And he's talking about Greece, but I'm a Greek resident, so
Yeah, you're.
I get in for free. So
I'll
there we go.
just you can sneak us in.
Oh, good.
We'll just have to do another whole pod just strictly to this, or you and I should just drive around with these things with our kids, and we'll have them like honestly, like we should have them just rate everything that they do, and that would be
Well,
fun.
my kids do want to start like a YouTube channel or a podcast, so maybe that
Yeah,
would be a great idea.
let's do it.
All right, awesome.
Okay. Now that everybody's skipped past the parenting stuff because they're single,
Right.
let's get into the open house stuff, the nitty gritty here. We got Brooke Stewart, our open house expert. We're going to talk about from both the buyers and sellers' perspective about open houses, because they are a big deal, especially
Yeah,
right now.
they are.
With so little homes being on the market, most houses are getting listed with these open houses, and
Yeah.
a lot of agents are like pushing their clients to go to those,
Hmm.
um, just because timing wise, it works out better for everybody. And then so let's talk strictly from. I guess we'll start with the seller side of things. Okay,
All right.
Brooke Stewart, what are your top staging tips that will actually okay, I'm gonna try this again because this is
Mhm.
probably for TikTok. Brooke, what are your top staging tips for a open house that will actually help the home sell faster?
Okay, I feel like this is a given. I feel like I say this all the time, but I go to a lot of open houses, and I mean, we see a lot of houses, and it is shocking. Please, 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 please clean your house.
Mm,
Clean your house, especially if you have animals. I'm talking hire a cleaning person. If not, I love magic erasers, clean the walls. Um, it puts buyers at ease when they see a clean house that they don't feel like there's a lot that they have to do when they get in the house just by making the house clean. Also, I don't think people realize clean your closets because people are opening all of your cabinets, all of your closets because they want to see if those are spaces that they're going to be able to use. So that is my biggest thing whenever I have a seller. Please, please, please. I mean, clean your house.
it's one of those things too where subconsciously, right? People see a clean home and they're like, these people took care of the house.
Yes, absolutely.
So yeah, not only does it make the experience of being in the open house better, it's just like it also goes with the thing we always talk about with photo day as well.
I
When you're
love
listing a home,
photos.
decluttering, as much as you can.
That's my next one. Okay, go ahead.
Just gonna say, like, as much as you possibly can, declutter your home. I mean, we tell people we understand you got a lot of stuff. I get it. We have kids. There's a lot of crap. So use your garage. People are,
Start packing.
yeah. We're not saying that you got to go out and buy a storage unit, but it
No.
wouldn't hurt. I mean, the whole idea is to let people picture themselves in the house.
Mhm.
Also, the less stuff you have in there, the bigger your home's just gonna feel. That's why when you get a house professionally staged, they bring in the smallest furniture you've ever
Yeah.
seen because it just makes rooms feel bigger.
We just bought a house a couple of years ago, but when we were moving, the first thing that I did was if you have cabinets with all of like your crafting supplies and everything, your house is going to sell within a week, most likely. Um, Go through and start cleaning out the cabinets, clean out under the sinks, clean out, all of your collectibles in the cabinet. Um, Clean things that you're not using every day. Put away, the stuff in your kitchen that you only use for holidays. The stuff that you're not using, just put it away. And it declutters and it's going to make moving easier too. So,
How do you feel about a candle?
oh, please, please, please light a candle. If you don't like candles being lit in your house, you can get candle warmers. You can get a little plug-in thing. I don't like plug-ins as much. It's not as homey. But especially if you have animals or kids or what, there's funky smells all the time. Just light a candle. One, it can cover stuff. Two, it feels homey when the person comes in. Who doesn't like coming into a house with candles lit?
Yeah, I would say don't go strong with the scent. You're not trying to
No,
get people hungry. Not like we're not doing like apple cinnamon or something
do it
like that. Make
clean.
it clean linen or something like that.
Yeah.
Fresh laundry, like that type of vibe to it. Something that's subtle where people aren't going to be like, okay, why? What are they covering up? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like
I wouldn't don't overpower 1 candle in the house. That's it. 1 candle.
I I haven't pulled this move yet, and I've always wanted to do it. Getting to the open house before everybody gets there and baking cookies.
We do have somebody on our team that does that.
I think it's a great move because you get the cookies to give out. I mean, that's solid. But also,
So
just
I'm
like,
not doing it.
no,
Brittany, you're awesome.
I,
I'm not doing it.
the only reason I don't do it, and I think this is,
You can bake cookies or brownies before the people get there.
yeah, that's fine.
I'm not gonna do it though.
So I think this is just me, and this is strictly a me thing, but I used to work at the operating room in at RGH, and RGH in their the kids
Things you
ER,
didn't
they're baking cookies there, so they have that smell. So it's like, I don't know. So when I smell cookies, that's what I think about is
Interesting.
sick kids, and so that's only me. So that makes me sad. But don't worry about that. Don't worry about me. Everybody else, when they smell cookies, think good things. Anyways,
Oh my gosh.
um,
Things you didn't know.
Brooke, when is the best time to schedule an open house for max traffic?
Ah, everybody debates this. It's such a debatable topic. For me personally, I want my stuff done on Saturdays that I have to go out and do before noon. So I like open houses between that like 10 and 1 p.m. mark. So either 10 to 12, 11 to 1, um, because that gives people the rest of their day to do stuff. I think that that works. If you're going to do a weekday, I would suggest a weekday if it's during the nicer weather, so as Shane said, 1 month out of the year. Um, you can do it from like 5 to 6:30 because that's going to catch the people getting off of work. They can come through, they can go home, dinner, kids, whatever you do. So, um, and I'm not opposed to like an hour and a half open house compared to like the normal 2 hours. Um, so I think earlier the better because it lets people get on with their day.
So yeah, this is something that really is up to you and your agent to figure out scheduling wise. And
Yeah,
like
absolutely.
statistically, what I have found in my research is when buyers are looking for open houses to get to, the searches spike around 10 to 11, and then
Yeah,
they're going out. So I would say
yeah.
your noon to 2, 2 to 4s, that's on the weekends, that's what works. I would try like Sundays, noon to 2 makes sense because you're
Oh,
catching
you got to
people
get the
after the church.
yep.
Um,
I'm immune to tour.
the Twilight's open houses during the week, obviously, it's very dependent on seasonality and as far as like the sun, if it's going to be available.
I
So
think
like,
it's also where you live too. If you live in the country, I wouldn't do a evening open house. Nobody's driving there after work.
sure, yeah, that's a trek. Like right now, I think we're getting closer to 8 o'clock sunsets
Yeah.
from what I saw. So now we're getting a little bit later. So yeah, maybe catching people after they do dinner and everything like that
Yeah.
with their kids. But um, I'd say do as many as you can as a seller. Just because
Yeah, why not?
instead of allowing one group through for a half an hour, you're getting unlimited amounts of people coming to view your home in that 2 hour window instead
Absolutely.
of limiting it out. So,
Yeah, you're not having to leave 20 times a day. If you have multiple open houses, then you just know that, those are your showing times for that evening or Saturday or whatever. So it definitely, you have a lot of flexibility. So make sure you know that you have options.
and look out for my next invention, the ABT bus, where we just get everybody that's interested in checking out open houses, and we meet at one central location, and we're just going to drive around to a bunch of as much as we
As
can.
long as it stops at coffee shops along the way, I would
100%.
join.
Oh yeah, it's a small bus. I can't drive a big one.
Um, the other thing, did we switch yet to buyers? Or are we still on
I think we've been
sellers?
mixing back and forth, but yeah,
Okay. Well, can I give a tip to buyers right
please.
now? Okay. Here's my tip to buyers, especially if you go to an open house without your realtor. Okay. Take pictures. Take pictures. Are you questioning what that is? Take a picture.
Mhm.
Do you like it? Do you love it? Maybe it's like Pinterest board worthy inspiration for the home you actually buy. If it looks scary to you, take a picture of it. The thing is, as a realtor, we're not trying to send you to open houses, um, to get we want to be as involved as possible.
100%.
So we want to know what you see when you're there, and we want to help you make the best offer based on your trip to the open house. So please take pictures of anything questionable.
As I cough in the microphone. Um, yeah, and so with that piece too, I just want to say like I know that other agents do this as well. I recommend sending my clients to open houses and I go with them. And that's for two reasons. Obviously, like I want to be involved, like you're saying. I want to be able to give them the extra set of eyes to point out things that you're looking for. But also like it gives you that idea of competition.
Yeah. And I would definitely prefer to go to with all of my clients to open houses. But if there's scheduling conflicts or whatever, but yes, absolutely. And
Yeah.
there's questions, your realtor needs to give you a list of questions to ask the agent that's there.
Yeah,
So,
let's dive into that. What should a buyer always ask at an open house?
um, okay. Don't ask why they're moving. Don't ask. Sorry, you asked what to ask for. Okay, what to ask for. I think the age of the roof is always important. Um, do they know of any issues? Because people usually can't lie straight off like that. You want to know if the water heater, the furnace is new. What's new in the house? What have they done um since they've lived here? Whether it's 5 years, 2 years, 20 years. What's new?
Sure. As an agent, I'm always asking if they have any offers yet. Um, in hand, usually it's no, just 'cause of how this market is, right?
Yeah.
Homes get listed on a Tuesday. They're open for all these showings, doing these open houses, and then they're not getting offers in until the delayed negotiations are done the next Tuesday or Wednesday. So usually the officer coming in on the last day possible, but doesn't hurt to ask because if they're like, oh yeah, we already got two and we're expecting this amount, then that gives you an idea of the competition. That definitely helps.
What's the traffic? How many
Yeah,
showings have there been? Usually by open houses, they have a feel for that.
yeah, they can tell you how popular it's going to be. Yeah, asking an agent, what do you think it's gonna sell for? It's really not gonna help you.
No.
Just because, like, and this is what I tell people, I have given up on predicting this market altogether. Anybody that thinks that they know for sure is lying to you. Um, we don't know.
We don't.
It comes down to what do you think it's going to go for,
Oh,
and
yeah, for sure.
what are you comfortable with putting on it? It's a personal question for you to figure out yourself. I'm trying to think of any other questions to ask while you're at an open house. I think that covers a lot of it, and a lot of it you should be working with an agent that can help you pull up that information for you even beforehand, right?
Oh, yeah,
Pulling up the PCD,
absolutely.
so then they'd be like, "Yeah." So your agent could look and be like, "So in the PCD, it says the roof is such and such years old. Definitely want to take a look at that, or if you can get in the attic, or you can see what's going on in there to give
Mhm.
you guys a better idea." But yeah, that's a great point. Take lots of pictures and videos and send it to your agent as well. Um,
And even as agents, a lot of times at open houses, I'll take photos as well. We're seeing multiple houses in a day. So it's sometimes hard to remember which house was which basement or which laundry room or whatever. So I take pictures so I can remember, and we can talk about those things afterwards.
Here's our next question, Brooke. What should buyers be looking for or watching out for at every open house?
For me, I always look under the sinks, always flush the toilets. I'm always looking for dark spots, water spots in the basement. Just so you know, too, just because there's mold doesn't mean that you can't buy the house. A lot of times it's easier fixes, it's taking out some of the landscaping around the outside. So don't be too scared about basements. They're not as scary as everybody thinks they are. Um, I sometimes have you ever gone to a showing or an open house and there's like all the boxes in the middle of the floor, but you can't get behind them?
Hmm.
I will sometimes move some boxes to see I just want to know if they're hiding something, you know?
Yeah.
And as an agent, it's my job to get the most information for my buyer. So I'm definitely going to do that. Um, I always look for water staining. If you do find water staining, again, ask how old the roof is because the water stains could have been there for 10 years and they're completely dry and not an issue because the roof's new.
Hmm.
So, again, it's why you should have an agent because they think through all of these things and can help you problem solve what you're actually looking for. Um, but I think besides like water stuff, foundation stuff, if this is the one thing I learned, horizontal cracks, bad. Vertical cracks, not as so. Those are the kinds of things.
Those are good ones. I would say to add to that, I mean, it goes with every house you're looking at, right? Location and size. Those are the two things you can't change. You can change size. It's going to cost a lot.
Yeah.
Location, I guess, I guess you could change technically. Not really. Maybe you can lift the house up into the sky
I do know
more,
people that have done that.
or dig down into go full bunker if you wanted to. But I mean, you're still. Anyways, I'm digressing. Location and size. If it doesn't feel like it's gonna fit your family, it's not gonna work. If you go and you drive to the neighborhood and you're like, oh no, this is not gonna work. Look at all these. I don't know. I'm trying to think of an example. Everybody on this street's got a boat, and I'm gonna be so jealous. Look at all these great
Or
boats.
you have kids and they're driving 90 miles per hour down your street.
Yeah, not great. So those are the big ones. But yeah, the other stuff like that, that Brooke was mentioning, that's definitely stuff you're learn with your agent, and also just there are services that home inspectors will provide that they would walk through a home with you before you put an offer in
Yeah.
on things. Usually how those work is they are doing it more of an opinion type of deal to begin with, give you a brief idea of what they think of the house, and then after you would get under contract, get the home. They do the full inspection, give you the full report so you know exactly what to do with it. Well, at least you're armed with something. Because just to protect ourselves, we
Hmm.
are real estate agents. We're not home inspectors. We're
Correct.
not engineers. This is just anything that we know is based on just knowledge from being in other homes and what our clients have
Yeah.
experienced. We're not mold assessors, not licensed to do that.
Yeah.
Um, so last but not least, Brooke, what are sellers doing during open houses that buyers should know about?
I was literally I hosted the open house. And the seller happened to be sick, staying at their mom's house, and they were watching the people go through their house. And how do I know that? Because whenever somebody would walk by, the camera would move.
Oh
It would
no.
tilt one way and then it would tilt back the other way. Guys, there's nanny cams, there's, I mean, very visual cameras sitting out. Um, don't talk about the seller. Follow the rules. If they say take your shoes off, we have had people get yelled at in the middle of an open house because they came through the camera and said, you don't have your shoes off.
Yeah,
Um, people are just very particular. So follow the rules. Be aware that even if you don't see a camera, there could be a camera. There's the doorbells where they can, video you. So just be aware. Keep negative comments to yourself until you guys get outside the house and then you can have that conversation with the realtor.
yeah, 100%. Just always assume you are being video or audio recorded. Like that's the biggest
Yeah.
thing. These surveillance cameras and yeah, the hatches and um yeah, there's rings on the inside that are recording.
Yeah.
You're
And
just
some part, I get it from the seller. You have tons of people walking through your house. I mean, we've had people have stuff go missing and whatever. So I'm not knocking the sellers that do that. Um, but buyers, you need to be aware and follow the rules and be careful.
100%. Yeah. Or you can use it to your advantage and you can really compliment the hell out of home. I'll do that.
This is the
I'm not
best
ashamed to say
house
I
I've
do.
ever seen. My kids will be awesome in this room. We're gonna build a rock wall and
I was showing these clients a house that really strong choices made throughout the entire home. Every room was like a different adventure. It
bold
was a
color.
lot going on. And there was cameras all over this joint. So I made a point like every single time, just like walking around like, whoa, are you
People are
kidding
so
me?
creative.
Like, talk about taste.
This is amazing.
Wow. I'd love to work with these people.
This is my favorite color.
Just really like making compliments that like my wife would be ashamed of me. Um, but yeah, that's the play. It's like just always assume you're being recorded,
Yeah.
even when you're out in the road. Like my camera can pick up voices from the road, so
Oh,
like you're
shoot,
not even
really?
safe there. So I would say like,
Call your realtor in the car.
yeah, I tell my clients like, yeah, just call me, let me know what you're thinking later, and then I'll call them as soon as we leave.
Yeah,
Like, all
but
right,
yeah,
give me the
yeah,
lowdown.
that's
What are you
true.
guys thinking? What do you need? What questions do you have answered? Brooke, thank you for your time. Appreciate you.
Yeah, absolutely. Fun.
If you're looking for somebody to help you buy or sell a home, highly recommend Brooke. Find her info, anthonybuterateam.com. Thanks for checking out the Rochester Real Estate Show. You can subscribe to the podcast wherever you get podcasts, and we're on YouTube and we're on Facebook, Instagram, all that good stuff. We'll see you next time.
Thanks, Shane.
Bye.